So today we're once again going to go through some Reddit things, and I have found a little bit of an manifesto or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to name it. You are enough. I feel at peace and clear-headed in this moment, so if you want to hear this from someone, I hope you will let that person be me. You are enough, or better said, you are enough. You're working so hard to get what you want when sometimes it feels so far away. Your efforts will pay off, and the only one who needs to be convinced of this truth is you. You are enough. The anxiety took over you again, the self-doubt, maybe it is taking over you this very moment, but you have got to shut them down. Either the voices live or you. You are enough. Wherever you are in this point of time, however you are, know that the universe is secretly trying to give the best to you, even if you don't see it yet. So trust in the universe. Overall, there is only so much under our control. Stop trying to act otherwise. You're capable and beautiful and smart, and you're everything the dark side of your brain tells you you're not. Cut yourself some slack, bitch. Yeah. I think it is amazing, and I do quite often also feel the urge of saying something like that, which people can then find most often on TikTok, as I've started very, very recently to post there again. It is an amazing platform, because you're able to reach so many people. It is just a top-notch Jacques Guzel, It's amazing. I really, truly appreciate that. But let's see what people are saying. Some days you really need to hear it. Thank you. I needed this. Thank you. Ditto over here too. But what if there is no bigger picture to life? I don't get the universe telling you something. I'm just another person in the world. I'm not special. You may not be special, but you're worth something, boss. Why is accepting compliments so awkward? You are great. Yeah. Well, I do want to point out that you are special. Maybe there's somebody that kind of looks like you and kind of is like you, but no. You are special. You are the one person of, you're one of a kind, You are you, and there is no one else that is fully like you. Just a little bit of a thought here. How do you define special? Which is point A, and point B is, what if the bigger picture is so big compared to our mundane lives that we don't realize we are part of something much bigger than us? We'll never notice. So our best bet is to think there is a bigger picture where all of our efforts fit in. I don't want to repeat this. What if the bigger picture is so big compared to our mundane lives that we don't realize we are part of something much bigger than us? We'll never know this. So our best bet is to think there is a bigger picture where all of our efforts fit in. It's hard for me to believe in such honesty. It seems unlikely that we were created with the evidence for evolution. I mean special as in unique and significant in terms of the scope of the universe or whatever. It might be helpful to try and make a list of what you believe is not unique about yourself, and then make a list of what about you is unique. You may have 2 arms, 2 legs, a heart and a brain, but that's pretty much where it ends, my man. From our exact hair color and placement and thickness to the freckles on your bum to the thought you have first thing upon waking, which you have a choice as to what this is, by the way. Everything about you is unique and special. This could get really long-winded, so I'll cut it off. But just remember, you can't build muscle without resistance and tearing muscle fibers, and you can't build a skyscraper without hitting rock bottom first. Just when you think you're at the bottom, that's when you're in the best place to build. And quite, yeah, it's actually, to some degree, being at rock bottom is one of the best things that can happen to you. Because there is no such thing then as lowering your level of existence quite, because you're already at rock bottom. So if you're at this place, or in this place, then there is no way things can get worse. Things can only get better. And so it is an amazing thing. And yeah, if you think about it. But of course, I don't want you to be in this place quite, I kind of want you to be in this place in a singular moment of your life. and also that you know what this is all about, and you know how this is feeling, and you know what it is like. But I think it also depends on how you think about things. Like for some people, this situation and that scenario and this whatnot means rock bottom. But for somebody else, it is something either more severe or something less severe. So it's always difficult to talk about that, because it means different things for everybody and for people in general. So yeah, let's also keep that in mind, bitches. Let's see if there's something else. Actually, some pretty amazing thoughts there. I appreciate that. There's something of stoicism. Seeing a stoic intent as an act of love. The Thing Is, by Alan Bass. Let me see. Can't I scroll? Now I can. To love life, to love it even when you have no stomach for it and everything you have held dear crumbles like burnt paper in your hands. Your throat filled with the silt of it. When grief sits with you, its tropical heat thickening the air heavy as water, more fit for gills than lungs. When grief weighs you down like your own flesh, only more of it, and obesity of grief, you think, how can a body withstand this? Then you hold life like a face between your palms, a plain face, no charming smile, no violent eyes, and you say, yes, I will take you, I will love you again. This really struck me as a beautiful expression of the Stoic approach of what can you control, and also the amor fati principle, expressed in something that is specifically or intentionally Stoic. It is beautiful. What's amazing is that if you read this poem backwards, the message is still clear. How the fuck do you come to the conclusion or the idea that you should be reading a poem from the bottom to the start? But I'm also going to do it. So, I will love you again. And you say, yes, I will take you. No charming smile, no violent eyes. Between your palms, a plain face. Then you hold life like a face. You think, how can a body withstand this? Only more of it and obesity of grief. When grief weighs you down like your own flesh. More fit for gills than lungs. Thickening the air heavy as water. When grief sits with you, its tropical heat. Your throat filled with the salt of it. Crumbles like burnt paper in your hands. And everything you have held dear when you have no stomach for it. To love life, to love it even. I don't know what to get out of that if I'm reading it in the wrong way. Anyway. Similar communities to Stoicism. Mindfulness, get disciplined, meditation. Let's also check out mindfulness. Let's see if there's something of interest to me and or to you. With mindfulness, staying in the present is like a game. Play the game with curiosity and fascination. This is the real secret of life, to be completely engaged with what you're doing and instead of calling it work, realize it is play. Alan Watts. And I do also want to point out, and I do also want to say that even though it is something, at least at this point in time of life, at this point in time of society, and in this year, saying that, being mindful is important and living in a moment is important, I do want to point out that it is. And most often I'm feeling bad, and I think it is the case for everyone as well. When I'm thinking about past things that happened, that I did, scenarios, people, whatever it might be, it is in the past. And also things that I'm concerned about in the future. And that's it. If I'm in the present, there is actually not that much that is concerning me or pissing me off, or there isn't even that much to think about. I'm doing something, I'm thinking about something, I'm whatever the fuck, But yeah, if I'm just thinking about the present, if I'm living in the present, there's not that much that is concerning me, pissing me off, whatever, than when I think about the future and or the past. So also living in the future and or living in the past doesn't make any sense. You can't change it. You can't change it. It is something I believe that most people realize, but it's still an act of effort to really get this into your head and really get this into your heart as well, so that you truly understand also subconsciously that you can't do anything about the future nor the past. Yeah, maybe you did something bad yesterday. It is what it is. You can't change it. You can make the best out of it today by maybe talking to this person and saying that you're sorry, by doing whatever. You can make things better than you did yesterday, and you can also try to make tomorrow a better day by doing more work, by just making it easier for yourself tomorrow, by whatever the fuck you might be able to do to make tomorrow better, maybe also eating better and getting enough sleep and so on and so on and so on. Like, we can change the way we think about the past in the present, and we are also able to change the way we think today when it comes to tomorrow, if you know what I mean. Although generally very useful, it is important to remember that mindfulness can be harmful. Powerful tools should always be used with care. There's actually a scientific article, I guess. Science Focus, the home of Science Focus magazine. Well, amazing. Can mindfulness and meditation be harmful? As people turn to mindfulness apps to help deal with the stress and uncertainty thrown up by the pandemic, it begs the question, is this Asian practice really a panacea for modern day anxiety and depression? Well, I'm gonna read this article. It's not that long. It has some length to it, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, anyway. Meditation has escaped both the religious cells of monks and nuns and the labs of scientists. An increasing number of people are using meditation apps to deal with mental health problems such as depression and anxiety. Although there is no clear estimate of how many people are practicing meditation, last year one single app had close to 40 million downloads. But now, my new study, which reviews over 40 years of the science of meditation and mindfulness-based therapies, suggests that these practices can also lead to negative effects in about 8% of individuals, from increases in anxiety, depression, and stress to unusual experiences like hallucinations, which I think is actually something pretty cool, but, anyway. This sounds counterintuitive, given the thousands of scientific studies exploring the positive effects of meditation, but this study also indicates that scientists have been aware of these problems for a long time. In 1977, the American Psychiatric Association published a statement recommending that research on meditation should evaluate both its usefulness and its dangers. And Asian meditation manuals like the Buddhist Dharmatrata meditation scripture likewise indicate that if meditation is not carried out properly, the mind can become unstable, restless, or confused. What does this mean to the millions of people using meditation to alleviate everyday stress and anxiety? Not to mention the increase in schools using meditation-based programs with children. Is it possible that some of them may experience more harm than good? The new evidence from this and other recent studies shows that this is a real possibility. But anyway. Altered states of mind. Why does this matter? There is no straightforward answer. Meditation techniques were developed to stimulate altered states of consciousness, to experience oneself in a different way, or even to challenge the ordinary quote-unquote self. These experiences were not expected to always be pleasant or blissful. For example, there are meditation practices common to various religious traditions that recommend visualizing one's death or even finding a rotting corpse and focusing on its decomposition. This was expected to arouse fear and disgust, eventually leaving behind concerns about the world and oneself. But people turning to meditation today are using it to enhance or heal the self, becoming more resilient or less anxious and depressed. Are there conditions under which meditation is more likely to stimulate a negative experience? ? This new study reviews evidence suggestions that intensive meditation practice, such as that carried out at meditation retreats, sometimes increases the likelihood of negative events. On the other hand, it's not clear whether having a previous mental health problem will make you more at risk, which means that it could happen to anyone. Some of this may sound confusing or alarming to many seeking well-being through meditation, but it needed to be so. Our understanding of the mind is still limited. The study of how we react to mind-altering practices like meditation is still in its infancy, and it's an important step in acknowledging the whole range of meditation effects, both positive and negative. We hope our study will motivate scientists to seek a more balanced understanding of when, for whom, and under what circumstances meditation can be beneficial or harmful, and it will pressure commercial meditation, mindfulness apps, and course providers to raise their ethical standards. At the very least, they should be obliged to inform the public that meditation is not a panacea, it doesn't work for everyone, and it may produce negative effects. And this is the article. I do want to point out and say that, yes, maybe to some degree, because of whatever reason, it might be having a negative effect on you, as it is with everything. If you're drinking too much water, which is like a very cliche example, I would say, if you're drinking too much water, you could also expand your cells and therefore die, because expanding cells is not that amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I think it is worth trying out, as it is with quite a lot of things, not with everything. Especially when it comes to drugs and something like that. Not necessarily. But yeah, try it out. Even if you see that it is not doing you any good, then just don't do it anymore. As dumb easy as it might sound, but yeah. Well, anyway, I think this is going to be the end of the episode. So I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. 3 other questions that I have you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions. I hope they're going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty fun, cool thing as well. One last note, one last thought, one last thing that I want to give you is, what could you essentially say to another person that is indeed going to change their life? Because I believe from the bottom of my heart that we all can say something. We all can communicate something that is indeed going to change somebody's life. So yeah, do it. And with that being said, please take care of yourself, your family members, and all of your loved ones. And I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. So bye-bye, and I wish you the best. See you soon. See you soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.